The market is its own living, breathing organism that you have zero, and I mean zero control over. If you don't have something to reel you back in, you'll lose yourself. That trading is the ultimate mirror. It is going to tell you more about yourself, whether you like it or not. This is why people system hop. The problem's you, never the market. It's always you. There's a million and one ways to make money in the market. You figure out your niche and you take advantage of it. Fake traders on social media, anyone on a standard MT4 platform trading over 100 lots, that's a demo account. It's not real. I follow that crap. Welcome back to the third episode of Just Some Podcast. With me, Andre Stewart. Follow me on Instagram at Just Some Trader, and my website, www.chartartisttrading.com. Let's get into it. This is going to be the last video. Well, not the last, but one of the last videos of me just talking about myself. What I want to talk about is the hard parts of the journey, the parts I don't really tell anyone. And I think a lot of traders go through, not even just traders, because I plan on talking to more than just traders. On the show, I want to talk to people who have attained success in their fields. I have a couple people lined up. And we're also going to talk to people who struggle, because I want people to see the theme that goes on when someone struggles. There's a legit theme when you're struggling to make it in anything, not just trading. It could be business, whatever. The darkest parts of my journey were one, my mental, and two, my wife's, and three, turning the corner. So the darkest part for me, I had this job and it wasn't paying too well. I was surrounded by people, and I was in sales. I was surrounded by a particular manager, who had never sold anything a day in his life and was constantly telling me how to sell. I had broke every single sales record at this company, and it was never enough. Now, I'm a verbally expressive person. I need to talk and I will vent. And I knew that I couldn't, well, I thought that I couldn't lose this job because I had a family to support. Only had 2 kids at that point. So it was tough. I ended up really, really losing myself, because at that point I was working 8 hours a day, taking my kid to school and coming home, going to work out and staying up till maybe 3, 4 in the morning trading. There was points where I would be at the kitchen table, sleep, and my wife would come out and yell at me, get in the blanking bed, right? She was right, by the way. But that went on for a while. And the lack of sleep, the lack of rest, and just that drive to get to that point, I started losing track of who I was. And I became very fearful of little things, like little things were out to get me. And I'm not an anxious person, like nowhere near it. I learned at an early age that I'm a strong person, literally at the age of 5, and not much scares me. I've literally faced my mortality at 5 years old. So I don't really get scared. And that situation taught me that I'm stronger than what I ever thought possible. And so this shaken up feeling was really, really new, super new to me, because I hadn't felt it in so long. But the journey brought that back up. I was reliving all these moments from my past and not really knowing what to do with them. So in that instance, I figured out what grounded me. And, it was my motivation is very vain. It's vehicles, it's cars. I love cars. And my motivation has always been a Lamborghini. And story for another podcast, I almost bought one. But what that taught me was that may motivate me, but my drive is different. My drive is my inner circle, which is my family, my wife, my kids. So connecting back to what makes me tick brought me back in. Fast forward, I lose that job and it's just bad. I can't go back to that place anymore. I literally let everybody have it. Like it was that scene from Half Baked where where the guy's going off on everybody. Like forget you, you're cool. It was worse than that. There was a company wide email because I figured, hey, you're firing me. I'm gonna let everything out. Like I'm gonna tell you what I think about you, how I feel about you. You're cool, and it was a big deal. But again, I'm a verbally expressive person. It has to come out. So get fired from the job, and I call my wife and tell her I lost my job, but I feel great. I cursed everyone I didn't like out. Not my proudest moment, but my proudest moment because I think I made my position better for the person that came after me. So that was my part. Now, when I say my drive is connected to my people, I was still struggling, but turning a corner. And my wife was going through really bad mental problems, really bad anxiety, really bad depression. I didn't know she would make it. There were situations where I feared that I would come home to a note or just just find her somewhere, right? Unconscious and me not being able to do about it. Well, not being able to do a thing about it. I'm powerless, raising two kids on my own. So it's kind of dark, it's kind of morbid, but what drove me was I didn't have any life insurance. So I got to make this work just in case, worst case scenario. But what that taught me was I wasn't following my process. And we tried everything, tried medicine, tried pills, and the only thing that worked was spiritual guidance, spiritual therapies, and that drove me to making it because I had built my plan, I had built my risk model, and now it's just time to execute it. But during the period of ups and downs, I would literally call my dad and he would just listen to me cry for like an hour because I didn't know what to do. Because in those situations, I'm helpless, right? I'm not the one going through anything. I can only be there to love and support. And I know that only goes so far. But really, I'm powerless. So we get through it. And again, there are things out there that can help you if you are going through it. Put all the material stuff aside. Put the cars, the houses, the the social media stuff. Put that aside. What really drives me is reality. The reality is I don't want my kids to work for someone. I'm going to give them the tools for them to be independent. I tell them this too. I don't care if you want to work at McDonald's. You will learn how to trade. You will build income from trading. You can do what you want with your life. That's the point. The point is to be free. The system's flawed. Again, some people work the system, but I'm not a worker bee. I need to be expressive, creative. And even trading alone, it's dark. You'll lose yourself. If you don't have something to reel you back in, you could lose yourself. Now, part of it too is you have to have a keen understanding of who you are as a person. You're going to trade the way you are as a person. I tell my people in my trading group that trading is the ultimate mirror. It is going to tell you more about yourself, whether you like it or not. And it's up to you to improve it. It's up to you to fix it, right? You're going to have to face your ego. You're going to have to face the way you feel about money. You're going to have to face every single thing about you. This is why people system hop. Part of my people system hop, because you're not facing what it really is, and you have to look in the mirror. Because if you're doing that in your personal life and doing it, almost dropped the mic, and doing it in your trading, then the problem's you, never the market. It's always you, not even your business you're in. It's you. You have to make those adjustments to get better. The other piece of advice is you have to learn a framework. You figure out the framework of, and again, I'm going to speak specifically for trading. Figure out the framework of the market, how it moves, why it moves. I have my theory on price cycles and how the market's nothing more than a puzzle, but you have to figure out your niche inside of that, right? There's a million and one ways to make money in the market. Out of sheer boredom, I cook up strategies, right? Just out of having nothing to do and just being alone with my thoughts. I think of things like I shut everything off, ego, everything, connect to myself, and think what is a logical way to maneuver myself through in and around these markets with the least risk possible, right? And I've come up with so many different ways to do it. But again, it's a process of disconnecting from your emotions, because the market is its own living, breathing organism that you have zero, and I mean zero control over. So if you have zero control over it, you should also have zero emotion to it, because it's not going to hurt you. It's what you attach. If you attach your hopes, dreams, your fears to a trade, to a price move, to the market, it's just going to amplify it. So it has to be a process that you follow to get out of your emotions and into a process. And what is your unique niche in this market? Me, I'm a process thinker. I just reverse engineered the market, figured out a process, and I trade that process. You have to do that for you. But throughout this process, you can't lose yourself. It's just the market. It will be here before it was here before us. It will be here after us, and it will be here tomorrow. So don't attach your self-worth to the market, to the money, and even to the outcome, right? Because when you attach yourself to those things and it doesn't pan out the way you want it to pan out, what does that do to your mental, right? And that was my problem. I was grinding away. And I think that was the universe's way of saying connect to what's important, and a better path will follow. Even if I did buy that Lamborghini that I will tell in the story, you'll never know. I'm not going to show. It's not my place, not my thing. That's the point of all this. Whatever helps you turn that corner, turn it. Figure out what makes you tick. Me, I know what makes me tick. And it depends on what you're into, right? I know myself. I know my design. I know my makeup. I know my personality. I follow it. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'm doing my thing. And you have to get to that point. Now, even in my own trading group, I teach the price and time cycles, but I push my people to figure out how they take advantage of the price movement. You're not going to do it like me. I'm not going to do it like you. You're not going to do it like someone else. And I've created, I'm not going to say I created, I've helped traders, tons of them, become funded traders, full-time traders, some young, some older. The best traders in my group are younger than me. You figure out your niche inside of this puzzle, this framework that is the market. You take advantage of it. You milk it. You milk it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be really important for you to connect to what makes you tick. And then also figure out what drives you. You'll never see me acting like the Wolf of Wall Street. It's not my thing. I absolutely adore being able to walk into a store, and I wear this all year round. Basketball shorts, t-shirts, and maybe a hoodie. Go into like Lululemon and get my wife whatever she wants. I get a kick out of that. That's my thing, right? I don't want to look like, oh, this guy has money. This guy is this guy doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So figure out what moves you, move towards your goals in the highest and best way possible. And it may be a wise thing to unfollow the things, the fake traders on social media who are showcasing lifestyles that aren't even theirs, that are rented or daddy or mommy's money. Follow that crap, especially if you don't connect to it. And here's the thing, I should say something really controversial, and I'm going to. You see anyone on a standard MT4 platform trading over 100 lots, that's a demo account. It's not real. MT4 has its limits. Unless they're in a unless they have a prime broker, and it's very rare that a prime broker is offering MetaTrader 4. Very rare. Some do, but you got to look at the logic behind all of it, because a lot of this stuff is fake. It's are you trading or are you influencing people to, and again, what are influencers doing? They're influencing you to buy something. It's the silliest thing in the world. I'm not here to attempt to be an influencer, but I want to influence people to find themselves and find their niche in the market. Well, that's really all I got, guys. So the next few episodes is going to be me, very conversational, talking to people about their journeys, how trading has helped or hurt them, because I think that's the side of this that you need to see. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. If you need anything, you can message me on Instagram at just some trader. Again, this podcast is not going to be about me marketing my mentorship, but if you do want mentoring, chartartisttrading.com. I don't just accept anyone. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Cheers.